how are you doing today? In this video, I would like to show you a new reading type. At least it's new for me because I haven't tried it before. It's called the Flying Bird, and it's from the Osho Zen Tarot booklet, but I'm not using the Osho Zen Tarot cards for this reading. This one is called the Heindel deck, and I chose it because I haven't used it in a while and I really like it. So let me just give you a quick description from the website of the Osho Zen Tarot that will give us an idea of what this reading type is about. This layout is designed in the shape of a bird taking flight. The cards chosen and placed in the left wing symbolize and indicate to us something about our feminine receptive energy, while the right wing symbolizes our masculine active energy. The first card picked is the initiator of the flight and stems from this active side. Each succeeding card responds to the previous one and lifts the bird higher, allowing the questioner to move into greater clarity and inner understanding. So this is a reading type that is focused on creating balance and elevating our spirits. And I often get this question from my viewers, whether certain tarot readings apply to them or not. And generally what I would say is that these videos that I make for everybody on my channel, they are for everybody. So if you feel like you're resonating with the message, then that's wonderful. And even if the reading is for somebody else, for example in my monthly tarot lotteries, even then there's a chance that you will find something in there that you will find useful. So if you watch it and you like it, then I think everybody wins. So the first card will represent the here and now. And I'm going to take my magic brush So the first card represents the present situation. The second card represents resistance, and I would say that could be interpreted as an obstacle, something that's standing in our way within us or outside. Okay. The next card is response. So this card will give us an idea on how we can deal with this obstacle that is standing in the way of our spiritual ascension. The next one is called intuition. So this card will tell us about messages coming in throughout or through our intuitive faculties. 5. Intelligent response to the intuition. So that's kind of the left brain, logical, rational analysis of the situation. Okay. Number 6, relaxation and acceptance. So this will reveal how we can accept the situation, whatever it may be, and how we can ease into it. Okay. And the last card is arrival at a new level of awareness. So that's basically the end game here. Okay. All right. The present situation, resistance, and by the way, these readings are just as much for me as for you. I connect with these readings that I do on my channel for everybody, and I often find revelations and insights within these readings that help me as well. I had to stop the recording for a little while because I wanted to think about the general impression of this spread and the cards. This is something that I do nowadays. If you're someone who's a tarot reader or somebody who's learning how to read the tarot, this is a word of advice. Don't try to push yourself to say things quickly. Take your time and think it through. Allow your intuition to interact with the reading and try to see the patterns. This is what I do. And what I found in this particular combination of cards is that there seems to be a battle between Pentacles and Cups here. We have 1, 2, 3 Pentacles and 1, 2 Cups in very important positions. And so I could describe this as a contradiction or a conflict between practicality and sentimentality, or to put it in other words, a contradiction between emotions and the material. So I really actually kind of like this spread because it's like a conversation between the two wings. So these cards are responding to one another. They are interacting with one another. The two wings, the two opposites, are coming together to create an energy that elevates us. So the first card, which is the starting point for the present, is the King of Pentacles, or I believe in this deck it's called King of Stones or Father of Stones. And the King of Pentacles to me suggests that at this point we're very well prepared. Our material circumstances are pretty much in order as to the highest of our abilities, because we have the king here, and the king represents the highest rank in the court card system. And if not, then at least the desire and the willingness to create more order is definitely there. So that's where we're coming from. We're coming from a place of material understanding where our biggest concern is to create security and stability and to have a plan. This is the other sort of idea that I've got looking at the cards, is that it's almost like a competition between planning and improvising, in a way. Planning for pentacles and improvising for cups, because cups represent water, creativity, flexibility, and pentacles represent practicality, the material. So, the second card here is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups represents the obstacle in this reading. So, right off the bat, we have a contradiction here, a clash of different energies, of different qualities, earth and water. The Ace of Cups, in this context, represents emotions out of control, I think, and basically untamed feelings, emotional outbursts, mood swings, possibly. Basically the emotions having control over us, because what aces represent is the entire spectrum and the entire distilled variety of the given suit. So the Ace of Cups, in a way, contains all the ups and downs, the emotional roller coaster that is the story of the Suit of Cups. And it's unbounded, it's limitless, unrestricted. So it could be a good source for love, but it's also a source for being upset and emotional stress, because it represents vulnerability and the inability or unwillingness to regulate our emotions. Instead, they are taking charge. So, right off the bat, I can tell that the King of Pentacles is having a hard time with this emotional approach where it's pretty unpredictable, and I think that deep down what we're craving for here is stability, a reliable system, because we want to feel safe, we want to feel supported, and all these different emotions, negative and positive, are just swirling around us, and they are very distracting. So, what is the response to that? According to the tarot, we have the Wheel of Chance here, or the Wheel of Fortune, maybe it's called here. And that's such a beautiful card, by the way. I hope you can see it. Yeah. So, the Wheel of Chance is a major arcana card, and as such, it represents deep and significant processes and life forces, and especially the Wheel of Chance indicates major changes. And I have the feeling, looking at this card, that it's trying to tell us that our inner being is already aware of this contradiction, and the solution is being worked out almost automatically or on a subconscious level, because the Wheel of Chance represents a touch of fate, a touch of destiny in our lives. When things happen that we could not possibly plan for, things that turn the wheel in a different direction, and a wind that just sweeps us up and transports us to a different place. So I think that the response is an openness to fate and destiny delivering us wherever it may. The intuition. So, on the intuitive side, we have wands. There are no swords in this reading, so the overly rational or the justifiably rational, logical, analytical side of our being is not that much included in this. It's more intuitive, and also it's part of partially routine and experience, because we have all these Pentacles cards, and they represent the familiar in a way. But at the same time, we have these wands here, the Two of Wands, and that to me indicates that our intuitive abilities are picking up on a necessity to introduce some newness, some vitality, some novelty, and a much broader perspective on this matter, which could just be the elevation of our mood and the elevation of our spiritual state. So we're realizing on an intuitive level, and I think this is in harmony with the Wheel of Chance, that that there's a need for experimentation and boldness, a lack of concern for our well-being on a neurotic level. So it's more about being courageous and throwing ourselves to life, or into the middle of life in a way, and letting our passion show us the way in a way. Okay. The next card is the Six of Pentacles, which is the logical response, the rational, logical response to this realization. And the Six of Pentacles represents a circumstance, or a state of mind, or an approach where you're ready to push things forward in a dynamic way, where you're ready to give and receive, where you're open to an exchange. And since we're on the material level, it can have a connection with the material world, finances, or any kind of material resource, which, in my opinion, could just as well be your skills, because your skills can always be turned into some sort of material achievement, and skills also have to do with routine and pathways in our brain that are already established. So, that being said, the Six of Pentacles is about shaking up that system a little bit, and creating an open structure where you're open to new influences, you're open to receive things, whatever it may be, and you're also ready to give, to offer, and to share your resources, your time, your skills. And so the logical response is to not shut yourself off, to not wallow in your pain with the Ace of Cups, to not let your emotional side take charge of you, and instead take steps towards creating more chances to engage with others in a way which includes reciprocity. So there's a pretty good balance here with the Six of Pentacles, and like I said, to put it in really simple terms, it's about giving and receiving and exchanging things. Could also do with trading in certain situations. And since we have the Two of Wands here, which is a classic business archetype in a way, because the Two of Wands is the card of the entrepreneur. I'm pretty sure I didn't pronounce that right. Entrepreneur? I just can't. Anyways, so the combined energies of these two create something very experimental and very much in search of fresh new ideas, opening your horizon for new things to come into your life. And this card, which is the acceptance and relaxation card, here we have the Five of Pentacles, which precedes the Six of Pentacles. And what we have with this card is a lack of material resources. So like I said, it precedes the Six of Pentacles. It's not having, and then with the Six of Pentacles we encounter the idea of not only having but also sharing. So the Five of Pentacles in this context is telling me that the way to ease into our situation is not to focus on what's lacking and what is still not available to us. It's, by the way, it's word by word, it's called material difficulty. So don't focus on our material difficulties. Try to make our peace with our situation as it is right now, even if it's not as positive as we would like it to be, because that's the key to elevating ourselves to the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is another king. As you remember, we started with the King of Pentacles, and then we've moved on in the end of this process to the King of Cups. And the King of Cups represent the mastery of the emotional level. So I think the key idea here is getting a hold of our feelings that are running amok and are terrorizing us, and perhaps maybe that's way too drastic, or it sounds too dramatic. It's more like they are overpouring from the Ace of Cups, and they're a little bit overwhelming in a way. And so the objective here, to be able to fly like a bird, free and with confidence, and at the end of the journey we're going to find that through our conscious efforts and subconscious realizations and intuitions, we're heading towards a much more balanced, much more mature emotional state. Well, that was interesting. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear your interpretations in the comments. I know that there are many people out there who are practicing tarot readers, who watch my videos, or people who are familiar with the tarot. And I would just like to encourage you to share your insights with us, because this is a game in which we all play. Even if you're not a tarot reader, but you feel like you have something to share, please do. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.